Literature in the Philippines evolved with and through its history. From riddles around a tribal fire and chanting during a village celebration, to the singing of the Passion in barrio chapels during Holy Week, to the novels and poems that fan the flames of revolution against Spain, to the voices of the present-day Filipino, in the native languages and in English, in verse and in prose, recited or sung. Written in oral, in many forms and many languages, in many settings and for many purposes, Philippine literature today is living and present. Indigenous Philippine literature was born in the ethnic community, growing out of a people's needs and customs. In the lineal villages along seacoasts and riverbanks, in farms and forests, riddles were used to entertain both elders and children. The talinghaga, or metaphor at the heart of the riddle, taught them about the world surrounding and gave them as well a way of seeing. Poems like the Tagalog Tanaga and the Mangyan Ambahan were written to express a vision or teach a lesson. Songs accompany the activities of daily life. Fishing or hunting, the buying and selling of food, the games of children, marriage, and victory in battle. Verbal jousts like the duplo played at funeral wakes, the bayok that spoke of love, the balagtasan on stage and later on radio, debated in verse or in prose, seriously or in jest, facets of Philippine life.
Ang paksakong pinanigang ilululang ko sa berso at bahala ng sagahan inyong madlang naririto. Sa panahong ito ngayon, tayong mga Pilipino, kailangan laging mula sa pambansang mga ito.
Asad nag-isama makatattamo na punutututan sa madantang kairang kasadin sa makapusa na. Ayang nagtananya naroon na suwatang tututan sa madantang kairang na tingabdawan.
Myths explored man's origins and the tribe's racial history. Legends explain the wonders of nature. Epics like Tuwaang, Lamang, Nilawod, and Bantugan link tribal man and his gods, his physical exploits and his spiritual strength, his real and supernatural worlds. His pre-colonial literature showed the Filipino as rooted in the Southeast Asian cultural tradition. This Asian dimension later served as a filter for the Western culture brought in by colonization. The establishment of the Spanish colonial government in the Philippines in the 16th century brought to bear upon literature the influences of Spanish, European culture, and the Roman Catholic religion.
Espiritu alabado sea el Santísimo Sacramento de la Salud de Inmaculada Concepción, de la Virgen María Madre de Dios, Señora nuestra, concebida sin mancha de pecado original, en el primer instante del cielo, durante por siempre jamás.
Because of the monopoly of printing presses by religious orders prior to the 19th century, early written literature was predominantly religious. The Ladino poems interwove lines in Spanish and the vernacular, showing the confluence of cultures and the ascendancy of the colonial language over the native. The first long work of conscious design and careful composition was the Pasión, or narrative of Christ's life and sufferings, by Gaspar Aquino de Belen, which eventually brought about other Pasións in Tagalog and the major languages, in a tradition of singing and chanting in homes and chapels throughout Lent. Eventually, the Pasión became the basis for the Sinaculo, a religious drama performed throughout Holy Week. The Pasión replaced the epic poems of the past and came to be a social epic, a mirror of the collective consciousness, in which ordinary people saw articulated their own values, ideals, and even hopes for liberation. Later, modern Pasión texts took up themes of protest and liberation from repression.
Pagbantog na aral, mag-isip ka na't magnilay, loob natin sa laman, nakakawan di katuwiran, Hallelujah. Ating mga katawan, nasal at mamamatay, bayan din ang silang bagay, dito sila
Ako po'y sisipi, bagamat di dapat ng isang salitang mababay mataas. Sa mahal na librong Ritual Romano, Kapitulo 12, doon atong angkot.
Two other types of narrative poems, the awit and corrido, were chanted while tending a carabao, taking vegetables to market, or putting a child to sleep. At first, they circulated like oral literature, and then later, in small printed booklets.
Sa katatang Estrella Maria, yung Deoberam na pospos ng grasya.
oras ay tahimik ang gabi, masaya tinanong ng Diyos ay adan at iyak ang mga anak magsisidalaki, walang iaaral na sukat masaan.
They sang of a medieval European world of royals, warriors, and lovers. All this from the folk writer's viewpoint of wonder at this regal world of such contrast to their colonial oppression. The romances of the awit and corrido also came to be the material for the popular drama form, the comedia. The peak of the genre is seen in the work of Francisco Baltasar, popularly known as Balagtas. His best-known work, the awit Florante at Laura,